Okay, I've got to make this quick. My battery's about dead. I said I was going to make a post and put up some tips or pointers or whatever to help the next guy puts these 8-degree trees on. I figured it'd be just quicker if I made a video real quick. The bike's dirty, so overlook that. Start at the bottom. This is what I ran into. The low and mean video tells you to undo this 17mm bolt. It's not 17mm, it's not even close. I used a 7/8 socket. Worked fine for me. Something else, your turn signal here, your factory turn signals, if you reuse them, there's going to be a metal bracket right here. This is for the other side, but you get the idea. It covers up this wire. Well, this little tab sticks up and kind of holds your turn signal in position from, moving forward or aft. Well, these new trees are a little bulkier and they're made a little thicker, and this bracket, if you reuse it, it's going to hold your turn signals kind of where it's cross-eyed. So I've got new signals on the way, so what I did was I just left this off. It looks kind of ugly, but this will do for now. If you decide to reuse them, you're going to have to bend this up a little bit here. You have to get creative. Some people say that you don't have to take the wiring apart in the headlight. I went above and beyond and took everything out. It was a real pain in the ass. So if you can do it without doing this headlight, like I said, I didn't do it that way, so I can't speak on that, but if you can get this headlight out of the way without removing all the plugs and stuff in there, that'd be a big time saver. It sucked. What else we got? The infamous washer. Some guys are talking about they didn't have any issues. Some guys had some wobble because your main bolt in here was too long. Your bolt comes up from the bottom and threads in right here. I guess the issue was the bolt's too long and it's bottoming out here and leaving slop down here. So I got this at O'Reilly's, I think like 30 cents. I couldn't find it at Lowe's. Maybe you might have some luck. It's just a regular washer. The hole is 3/4 of an inch. I went and threw it on there just to be safe, so I wouldn't have to redo everything. Now, another thing that Low and Mean forgot to mention was, if you follow the directions word for word like I initially did, they don't tell you to retorque this. So you're probably going to want to do that so you don't lose your front end. Oh, okay. My biggest problem with this whole setup was the 3-inch extenders right here. Now the video tells you to insert them and draw a little line for a reference point for after you reassemble everything. Well, I had an extra extender because one of them got scratched up. Basically, when you put this extender in there, just loosely, when you make that initial mark, if your top tree is made like mine was, that extender isn't all the way in. It's not bottomed out right here. And the only way to get mine to bottom out was to put the tree on the table and hammer the extenders in. Because my concern was, if I just loosely fit them in there, a few miles down the road, are these things going to want to try to slide up in? Or is one side going to slide up in so I have one fork longer than the other? So I had to do the installation a little differently. And what happened was, when I put the tree on the table and pounded this extender in, I got it in at probably another 1/4 of an inch, probably more. If you just loosely fit it on the fork and try to slide it up in there by hand, you're not going to get it in that extra 1/4 of an inch or so. So there's a possibility you have one fork longer than the other, or both forks not properly seated. Now if you hammer them in there, you got to do this all differently. So your biggest problem is going to be on the left side, because you have to get a wrench inside of here and take that all apart. So it's a little tricky, but I had the extender already pounded in and I had to assemble this together you know, while it's in the trees. It's a little bit of a headache, but I know for a fact that my extenders are all the way in. And if you guys want to check, those of you that have already had yours put on, it's going to be 1.5 inches from the bottom of the tree here to the seam. I was getting like 1.75 inches before I put them in my new way. So that was my biggest issue that I can remember now. Some things I left off, I think I already threw them away. Your factory trees, it's got like the little metal pigtail looking thing that your cables run through. I didn't reuse that, left it off. Well, I thought I left that one off, my bad. I think it's about it. Anyway, good luck and God bless.